What's happening, family? Our movement still moving. This one's entitled White Supremacy Parallels Feminism. Going out like this. White supremacy uses the sense that being white makes you inherently better than everybody in every way. Feminism uses the fact that, not fact, but the position that because you're a woman, you're inherently better than a man. White supremacy uses everybody else's work, ingenuity, creativity, and efforts and takes credit for them as if they're their own. Feminism uses all of man's work, ingenuity, and creativity and takes it as if it's their own. Furthermore, with both of those things, they also profit from those things as if they deserve it. Another thing that goes on with that would be they both use the justice system, the government, police, etc., 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 to further their goals. You know, that's why we have the laws we have. That's why feminine women have the laws they have. Both of them play the victim role by manipulating the system. Everybody, these people over here are inherently bad people and they do all these evil things, so we have to protect ourselves from them. Same way you say, these men do all these bad things and they're inherently evil, so you need protection from them. They both get government assistance. We don't need to go into that. They both use fear as a manipulation tactic. I'm going to take if you don't buy into my system, I'm going to take your freedom or your job or your life. If you don't buy into our system, I'm going to take your kids, your house, your money. And there are people who buy into the supremacy system who are not white because it's profitable. And they use the same things to profit the same ways that white people do. Same thing with feminism. People who are not even women or feminists use the same aspects to be successful and profitable in that situation because they want to get ahead. Now, the reason I'm saying all that, and there's other things along with it, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm saying right now. You know, I'm using that as an example. Is because that system has a downside. It's not built to last. It's not a foolproof plan. And what I mean by that is there are things that happen in day-to-day life that white people go apeshit on because it doesn't fit the white supremacy molds. It actually chops it down. Just like there are things that women go apeshit about that men do because it doesn't fit the feminist molds and it chops that shit down. And what I'm seeing in our society is, excuse me, people with that white supremacy mindset and people with that feminist mindset, and this is not the old feminist mindset, this is whatever is new in a sense, have an issue. Like, both of them have this parallel. They always want more. People who in the white supremacy always want more or something. Feminists always want men to do more or something. So, because of that, you never understood is creating social problems. And those social problems are directly affecting people with both of those mindsets. We can't deny that history, technology, even stereotypes are changing because that system has been turned against itself. Like, I could say talk about white supremacy or feminism from a perspective as being black. But at the same token, the funny dynamic is people of all races, including the white race, use white supremacy against other people who are not white and against people who are white. So now the rules, just like for white supremacy and feminism, the rules change. They're constantly changing and changing and changing because they have no honor in those rules. So what happens? Now you see people going crazy, and you see more and more people saying, okay, these white people are good people, they're just victims. They need to be portrayed in this positive light when they do stuff because obviously they're inherently better than everybody and they would not dare do all of these negative things on purpose. But history don't back that up. Technology don't back that up. I mean, what I mean by technology is what we see more and more, whether it's online or offline, day-to-day life news, doesn't back that up. Same thing with women. What we see doesn't back up their claims of being superior to men. So it's like, now the tables are turning because you got people doing outlandish shit and you can't really, like, as a black man, I'll be the scapegoat for everything. But shit is getting so outlandish with white supremacy and white people, they can't even use me as a scapegoat because we're nowhere to be found in a lot of these situations. And the mindset of the people is not changed, but it's like, I could use them as an excuse, but damn, like, how far is that going to go if they're not around? Same thing with women. Women are going crazy because, these men, it's your fault that you did this, but you're not around. Whoa. So how you going to blame me? Because see, what's happening is you have people who've opted into that, and you have people who've opted out of that. And the people who've opted into it are still playing the game. The people who are opted out of it are not. And some people opted out of it while they're even in the game. Like, you know what? I'm going to use the same game against you, and I ain't even going to play. So now, what is going on with our society? It's crumbling. Those two facets of it are crumbling internally. Because it was just a business model. Let's be real. There's no reason to have white supremacy or feminism if money wasn't involved. It wouldn't have a place. White supremacy keeps up this false ideology that all creativity, ingenuity, wealth, blah, 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 just came from white people's sweat and labor, blood, sweat, and tears, and putting themselves up by their bootstraps when history says the complete opposite. Same thing with women. And here's the kicker. This is why the society is crumbling. You can't build something. If I build a house from ground up, and you come in that house, and you say it's your house because I built it, and you deserve it because you're inherently better than me. When something breaks down in that house, then you need to fix it yourself. You know how you know this house all the way. You built it, right? Oh, no, you didn't. Okay, so why you can't fix it? Because I don't know it. I know discomfort. See, that's the problem. That's why you see the fall of so many different businesses. That's why you see what people keep saying that America's falling. That's why you see these women with feminist mindsets who go from being married to divorce with the house to 2 years later get a smaller house to 5 years later be in a townhome to 10 years later be in an apartment because they never created this situation. They just profited from it. And that's why the country's breaking down the same way. People want to get mad, but you can't hold a lie. No lie can live forever. And that's a problem. So if the lie can't live forever, the approach unravels. Like, a a guy said, what's the big difference? Why do black people dominate sports? And they asked a black guy who was he was in charge of American Express at the time, and he says that's very simple, because in sports the rules don't change. In sports, everybody knows the rules. You can't change the rule the minute a guy is scoring a touchdown because you don't like his skin color. You can't move the rim to the left because you don't like this black guy dunking on somebody. But see, that's how we approach America's governmental, institutionalized laws and rules, business-wise too. So people are more successful because they're not better, they just have the upper hand on the rules. This is the same reason why you have people say you can't conquer those Afghani people or Middle East people because they're just crazy. No, they're not crazy. What they're actually doing is doing what we did, well, what America did as a country to get away from the British. They had rules of engagement, and we wouldn't follow those rules of engagement. We made our own rules of engagement, because following their rules of engagement would have got us killed. People in the Middle East do the same shit. That's why y'all say these terrorists and they do this, and this, because they're not going to follow what you follow. They're not following the Geneva Convention, because the Geneva Convention is skewed for our victory. Same old thing. Excuse me. Same thing with women in this feminist nation. Guys are not following these rules anymore because they're not beneficial. They're one-sided rules, only beneficial to one party. So why would I opt into that? Why would I say I have to be your protector, your provider, your meal ticket, your husband, the one who has to take care of you through life or death, and I get nothing from that but what we give each other, which is sex. So that's a mutual situation right there. So I just wanted to point out that, you know, this whole society thing is having an issue, because in these two aspects is crumbling from two sides at the same time during the same period for the same reasons. Because if you never thought about it, white supremacy and feminism were both business models, but at the same token, white men have an issue with white women because of feminism, because it was using their same tactics that they used to annex this country, to create slavery, to create the economic situation that in their favor as it is. The women used the same thing to wait till they were done, because those men were their slaves. And when you're done doing all that you got to do and bringing all this money in and having everybody else do the work, build a house, and you feel great about yourself, now my female rules are going to come in and snatch that away because you didn't earn it either. And ain't nothing like a thief stealing from a thief. There's a certain kind of burn in that. You know what I'm saying? So what happens when somebody says, I'm not playing these games? Oh shit, wait a minute. I don't know what to do. Well, that's because you don't know how to do anything outside of this manipulative game. This is not the real world. Your made-up world with your made-up rules for your made-up pleasures and your made-up success doesn't really work when you deal with people who actually had to deal with the real world that your world created, because you haven't had to deal with it yet. And now you're seeing people go apeshit because the supremacy that they set up and the feminism that they set up, now they're victims of their own system. And what happens when a business becomes a victim of its business practices? That's all I'm saying. Peace.